Hey guys, we're back to HTML and we're going to finish up today, but there's a lot to get through before we finish up. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't talk about, and that's all there up on w3schools.com. They've got all the sorts of stuff that you might need in addition to what I'm teaching you. So just keep that in mind. I'm not teaching you absolutely everything there is to know about HTML. But there are a few other interesting elements that I'd like you to do to be able to finish our project here. All right, so the first thing that we're going to look at is unordered lists here. So an unordered list is like a list with bullet points. So this is actually pretty simple. It does not need to be in a p tag. So there are two tags that go along with having an unordered list. The first one is UL. UL stands for unordered list. Now you're also going to need at the very end your /UL to finish up the list. In between the two, we can put in our elements. So let's start with, let's list the parts of a computer, the regular, standard parts of a computer that we learned about. So I can say LI, and that stands for list item. So I'm going to put in Central Processing Unit. We'll keep the consistency and caps all the first words. So I've got the LI here, and then I've also got the ending LI tag there. That means that the bullet point is done. If I didn't have that ending LI tag, it would just be, I'm not sure how it would look, but we can find out. This is best practice though. So we'll talk about random access memory. Motherboard. Oh, I forgot the LI. Motherboard. Why don't we leave this off and see what happens? Sometimes having no ending tags, while not good practice, really doesn't do anything. Sometimes it does do something. And we'll say power supply. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I've got my UL tag, I've got my ending UL tag, and for each of these, besides motherboard, I've got a beginning LI tag for list item, and then I've got an ending LI. Let's see what happens with that motherboard. Actually, it doesn't seem to matter. It's still good practice to make sure you have an ending tag for that though. So let's save that. Really doesn't matter. Comes out the same way. So now you know how to make a ordered list, or sorry, an unordered list. That's a bullet point list. Now an ordered list is pretty much exactly the same, except that instead of UL for unordered list, you're going to be doing OL for ordered list. So let's start by doing the same thing, OL. Now, the list items are exactly the same. So I've got LI, and let's, what we need to make a peanut butter sandwich. Okay, so we need peanut butter. That's for sure. We need bread. We need a spreader to spread the peanut butter on the bread. And let's put it on something. So let's put it on a plate. So let's save this. Let's see what happens. Oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 listed out there. Awesome. Now, there are different ways that you can have this ordered list ordered. And that would be by changing this opening OL tag. Next to it, you put in type equals, and the way that we have it set up right now is that it's a 1, 2, 3 list. but you see that if we put that there, it doesn't change anything. But we can make it an ABC list by putting an A there. And it turns into an ABCD list instead of a 1, 2, 3, 4 list. If you lowercase that, it's a lowercase ABCD list. So that's pretty cool. What you can also do is you can put lists inside of lists. So on my Google Slides presentation, I made a really big one about making a peanut butter sandwich, like what we did when we programmed, quote unquote, programmed our peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or peanut butter sandwich, and we had to write down those instructions. So you can put one list inside of another. So I can put another list here if I wanted to. Let's make it an unordered list inside of the ordered list. So I've got, let's space this out a little bit so you can see it better. So I've got my unordered list there, and I'll put in it, what did I just do? I'll put in it list item white bread or whole wheat. I didn't spell that right. So I've got both these types working right there. And let me finish that with a finishing tag /UL. So now I've got an unordered list inside of the ordered list. Let's see what this looks like. So we can see that it's not the regular kind of bullet point, but that can be changed with the style tag. So it's that nested list, and you can put lists inside of lists. It can be an ordered list inside of an ordered list, an unordered list inside of an ordered list. It can be any combination of these, and they can be changed around with that styled additional element. All right, so next what we're going to look at is pictures. Pictures are pretty cool because, like color, they kind of add a lot to what the web is nowadays. So there are two main ways of doing this. There is one way which is doing it locally on your own machine, and that's the way we're going to look at first. The other way is to just grab it from another website. But let's first just take it locally. So I'm on Chromium right now, and I'll go to my own website, wolfmath.com. Okay, so I'm going to download this image. Actually, you know what? I'm going to download the HTML CSS image. So I'm going to save this. And you always want it to be saved in the same folder as what you're working in. Now there's a way around this, but I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm in the hand-in folder, Q1. This is where my HTML file is. So I'm going to save it there. I want it to be a normal name so that I can remember what it's called. So HTML CSS, that's what we're going to call it. .png, save. I can't save it as anything else. So I'm going to save that there. Okay, so that's saved. So I'm going to want to pull this up. So here's how I do this. I do this with the img tag. Now the img tag is one of those tags that does not have an ending tag. So I'm going to type in img for image, src for source equals, and I'm going to call it whatever it is that I named it. So I named it HTML CSS, and it was a PNG file, so .png. And then I have the alt here. Oops. Alt here stands for the alt text when you roll over the text. So I'll just say HTML and CSS. And then I've got my angle bracket to close that off. Let's see if this works. Refresh it, and there it is. Alrighty. So when I roll over it, it should come up with that text. Doesn't seem to be working right now. I don't know why. Oh well. The other way that you can do this is by just taking it from online. And that can be useful because we can easily, I don't know why it's not showing up there. Oh well. We can easily get bogged down with too many picture files, and that can be really disruptive. It can be too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that same picture, but we're going to just take it from online. So I'm going to do wolfmath.com again. I'm going to go to computer science, and let's right-click on this, and I'm going to do copy image address. Now when I go back here, instead of having the src just being html css.png, I'm going to get rid of this and put in that. So it will grab from the internet that thing. And I accidentally closed this here, so I have to open it back up. Open in Chromium. There it is. So it looks exactly the same, but it's actually grabbing the image from online instead of having it stored locally. And I can do this with a bunch of different images. If I wanted this image, I'll copy image address, go back here, and just replace this URL with the one I want it to be. So save that, go back here. Wow, that's humongous. Okay. So there is a way that you can alter the width and height. So let's talk about this, because this image is just way too big for the screen. When we learn CSS, we're going to see how we can scale this down. But for now, we're going to do this a little easier in the HTML file. So I want to go to the end of this, at the very end, and I'm just going to type in height equals, and the number of pixels it will be tall. So I'll have 42, width equals 180. This may not look perfect, but what's going to happen is it's going to be smaller. The CSS that we're going to learn in a little bit will be much better for this. And there it is. It's a little scrunched up. I could make it wider. Maybe I'll make it 200 instead of 180. See if that helps out. It'll probably still be a little scrunched up, but it'll be better. All right, not bad. And the last thing that we're going to do today is we're going to be talking about links. So how do we make a link? Well, I want to make a link to wolfmath.com. And we make links by, I'm going to leave that image there just to, because we're going to use it a little later. We make links by using the A tag. So A, href, equals, I'll just say, wolfmath.com. Inside of these quotes, that is the destination that you want the link to go to. And we have that tag, we have that angle bracket. Then I need to type in the link text. So I'll say, I don't always go to wolfmath.com, but when I do, I don't know, you can finish that off. And now we need to have that ending A tag, so I do /A to finish it off. Save this, look back here, and there it is. Now look, it came out in one line. So you remember from previous video how we get that to go on to a separate line. Now when I click this, it'll go to wolfmath.com, so I messed up. I don't know what I typed wrong, but I typed something wrong. Could it be that? Let's see. Nope. It's trying to go into a local file on my computer. I probably need an HTTP at the beginning. That's what it is. HTTP:///. Now let's try it. There we go. It goes to my website. All right. Now let's mix these two things together. What you know already intuitively, if you don't know it explicitly already, is that on the internet you can click images and they go to certain links. So I want to combine these two things together. I want to have a WolfMath banner image here that when I click it, it goes to wolfmath.com. So that's just combining these two ideas together. Okay? So I'm going to delete all of this right here in between the A tags. So I've got my two A tags here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this. That means I still have it saved on my computer in the RAM. I'm going to put it up here above the image, and I will paste. And so now I've got, just so we can see a little better, right now I've got my opening A tag, my image, and then my closing A tag. So I've got the image in between the A tags. We save this, refresh it, and we can see that that link text went away. And now when I hover over this WolfMath image, I get that little hand cursor, and I can click it, and it will go to wolfmath.com. Alrighty, so we are still working on making a web page on your favorite food, so we're going to just add to it, make a list after each one of the paragraphs. You have 2 paragraphs. It can be ordered or unordered, it's up to you. With the top 3 things that you like about that food, make sure you add 2 pictures of your food or 2 foods, and make one of those pictures, at least one of those pictures, a link to your favorite food. Alrighty, that's that. See you in class.